Four items of note. 1. A lot of rebar and wire mesh were added to the classroom area foundation, getting ready for a big pour. 2. For the first time, I saw no carpenters. Saw no concrete pumping either, just pouring. 3. The future field near the pond was tested for adding more dirt. It was just too muddy. 4. A ramp was carved into the berm to provide access to the highest level for buses. Had the chance to get a close-up of one of the 4 drilling machines being used. DMI is a Washington company. They do all sorts of drilling jobs, including retaining walls. The other photo shows another way to get the concrete to the hole or shaft to pour around the vertical I-beams. They fill the bucket and carry it to wherever it's supposed to go. No need for a hose and pumping machine. The lanes for the buses are being dug down 2 feet to about 4 feet below Falcon level. The big pour is still a few days from now. Lots more rebar and mesh to be possessioned yet. The photo on the left was taken from Cascade East. In the middle of the shot is the horizontal drill. The diagram on the right from Google shows a possible way of stabilizing the wall with really large nails. More of everything. Today the plowing of the field by the pond was done with a farming disc harrow pulled by the bulldozer with the weight on top of the harrow to make the disc dig deeper. The purpose is to dry the dirt and to get it to pass the compaction test. The rest of the work was a repeat of yesterday's efforts. They are called Baker tanks, although the ones used here say Adler. Their purpose is to hold liquid, generally dirty water, and keep it from polluting streams like Tibbetts Creek. Typically, they hold 18,000 gallons. As of today, there are only 2 left of the original 4. The photo shows the departure of one of them. The rest of the construction site was very busy all day. The forms that the carpenters have made were moved closer to the classrooms, soon to be foundation. I'm guessing that more concrete was poured today than any other day so far. There were 2 large booms and pump combinations, one red, one blue, being used at one time. There were 5 mixing trucks on site at one time. Nothing was done on the pond field at all today. Several more large I-beams were set into concrete, or rather concrete poured around them. This higher lane for the buses seems to be over-designed for just a 4-foot tall retaining wall. But then Issaquah may be a little sensitive about mudslides. Work continues on an access ramp in the south end up to the bus lane. Today was special in that you could start to see the walls go up, or rather the forms for the concrete to be poured into. The carpenter's work is now being used in the construction of a north-south wall. The first 4 or 5 panels were lifted in by the big white crane. The rest will be out of reach of the crane, so the telehandlers will be used to carry them to where they will go. I learned something about forklifts today. I had been thinking that most of the work was being done by forklifts, that they were using them more than any other vehicle. Well, technically, they are not forklifts, but rather telescopic handlers or telehandlers. Technically, there is not a forklift to be found on site, and those other vehicles sure are handy. Talking with Kurt, the supervisor for Cornerstone, I learned that the retaining wall between Falcon Way and the bus lane will be more than 30 feet tall at the south end. First, they have to sink the vertical elements and then make a retaining wall and then anchor it to the earth with those long green nails. Then they will dig down 6 feet, repeat until they get to the final grade. A similar thing is happening right now on the wall below the bus lane and above the car lane. They are installing mesh and spraying concrete on the second level, 6 feet below the first level that is fully set with mesh and concrete. Why 6 feet increments? That is the size of the wire mesh frames they attach to the wall before adding the concrete coat. I guess no gully washes are anticipated for the rest of the season, so the Baker tanks have been returned to their owners, Adler. That's what the overexposed photo shows. No tanks where they once were. The other photo is a good one to zoom in and explore. Something that does not show up until you get very close is how the leaning poles that keep the forms straight are adjustable. 3 photos today. The first is annotated to show where the last trees were removed. That's a shame. Towards the end of the day, a central area was cleared off for some to be determined purpose. The second one was of the school board visit, actually. I have no idea who was visiting. I'm just guessing again. Like the second, the third photo just had to be taken, and if you are old enough, you will know why. All lined up in a row, just wait. 3 photos, 2 events. The contraption shown in the first pic is a reclaimer stabilizer. It is used to inject dry concrete mix into the ground, and this makes the soil better able to handle loads such as a football field. It reminds me of a U.S. Army Stryker. The second pic shows it with its tank truck supply in the field by the pond. The cream-colored smoke or dust is evidence that it's working. Late in the day, a really long crane arrived in pieces. It was joined together over a period of about an hour and a half. It should reach way above a 5-story school. That's the third picture. Coincidentally, if you look closely through the top section, you can see the just assembled crane in the distance at Costco. I did not expect to send any pictures today. It's still early in the total schedule for a new school. Why would OT be authorized so soon? Again, shows what I know. The work done today was moving dirt and moving materials, this latter being accomplished by the new crane that arrived yesterday. There was no carpentry nor drilling. The dirt was laid down on the future football field and then spread around with the bulldozer, then the roller, but no application of dry concrete. If you go back in time a few months, you can see how much the field has risen. Today's photo of the giant crane is a better one than taken yesterday. As you probably know, concrete is tough stuff in compression, but in tension, not so much. The tension parameter is supplied by cables or rods or whatever is placed in the forms and tightened either pre-pour or post-pour. You've heard of pre-stressed concrete? This function is provided here at the site and not in the factory, as is pre-stressed. If anybody knows different on this or any other things that we are seeing, please let us know. The other pic is of most of the whole future school area taken about 2:45 p.m. It was very muddy in places today. A small white flatbed truck got stuck trying to carry a heavy load up the back ramp.